everybody. Welcome back, man.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
We're like a week after Valentine's Day now. We totally forgot to do anything about Valentine's Day in the list.
Valentine's Day? That happened? Really?
It did.
Do married people celebrate Valentine's Day? Does that happen still?
They do in my house.
Really? See, my wife, they're celebrating.
D&V action, kids.
You know, then there's a
You know what I mean?
celebrating, you know, go for a celebration there.
Love you, baby.
You know, the hard celebration there. Yeah.
So
Anyway, so what's going on?
yeah, I like to have love makings on Valentine's Day, weirdo.
You can do that.
If you buy enough flowers, you can.
Fuck. But that's what they were for.
Anywho, we're going to
Oh,
talk
my
about the big thing in the news this Friday is record the show, and that's Jesse Smollett from Empire and the Oscars without a host, but maybe Whoopi's going to save the day. We don't know yet. And our main topic for this show is Dungeons and Dragons. The 5th edition is now almost 5 years old. And
Really?
It's really brought the series back, and
Kids play that?
somebody's playing it. I think some kids actually do play
Really?
it. Yeah, they're...
Oh, that's cool.
But
man.
anyway, so we're
I
going to
love
talk
that
about Dungeons and Dragons and why it's actually, I think it's a good idea for an independent filmmaker, well, any filmmaker, to play a game like Dungeons and Dragons because it's, good for the imagination and shit. It's good for the old brain pan. Coming up
next.
Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if you've ever played them. That's our main topic for tonight.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons.
Of course, you played Dungeons and Dragons. I
Oh
have.
yeah, for decades.
How old? I'm wondering about this. How old were you when you first played D&D?
That would have
D&D.
been. You know, I was thinking about it before 4th grade, so that would have been about
Pretty young.
10,
Man, yeah.
9 or 10.
I was like,
yeah,
I was probably like 13.
30. Yeah,
30. I was
78.
well into my 50s during 1979, which is when I
Well,
think
that
it
was when you
hit.
came back from Vietnam. You started playing Vietnam, D&D then, which is cool. You and Gary Gygax, you went to school together.
Part of me came back from Vietnam. Part of me didn't. And, strike that line, Cheddar Grunt.
Oh shit, Strawberry! What the fuck? Those are VC
In
mentos.
1979,
Right.
Gary Gygax's dice-based fantasy
Yep.
role-playing game hit in stores worldwide. And
Huge phenomenon.
became an almost instant, overnight phenomenon for that
huge.
particular brand.
Yep.
It's a huge brand of nerdism. I did it. I'm getting ready. Part of why
Go
I'm
ahead,
doing
go
this is it's going to be my birthday soon, so I'm getting together as many people as wanted to play D&D to play 5th edition D&D just because we all used to play D&D. Everyone I know has played D&D at least a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
Understands the concept of the rolling of the
Heavy
dice
role-playing.
and hit points and saving throws. And, he didn't make a save. They're either you know what that means or you don't.
Right. It's a reference. I mean, you totally will And I remember vividly the first time I ever saw that. I saw the original, day one Dungeons and Dragons set because my father bought it.
That's what I mean.
brought it home.
That's how we grew up on
And it was-
the actual
Right. At that time, I was
ground
like,
zero of the phenomenon. We were there.
right. I was like 6. It was incomprehensible to me at the time. But once I got into 4th grade, oh yeah.
So our generation, I think, has a
pretty hip.
but it's not just that, or even that. It is, I think, catching on a little bit with the new generation, is that writers, almost universally, any writer you want, from Conan O'Brien to Jerry Seinfeld to straight drama, anybody who writes for Star Trek, Seth MacFarlane,
Yeah.
all of them play D&D.
Or play D&D or some variation.
It's not like,
thereof,
I know a guy who played D&D. I played
No,
it once,
you
or
played
my
D&D.
cousin. No, every writer in Hollywood has played D&D. I mean, I would
Guaranteed.
elite
I
male
guarantee
writer.
it. Oh yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
It's and to me, that's kind of why I wanted to do the episode, is because when you get in playing Dungeons and Dragons, you act out like these characters and everything. And then the DM or game master is kind of like the referee and
Right.
tries to put you through these modules where there's all these monsters that
Kind of
you
walk
fight,
you through a game and
and
tell you
tricks
what's
and
going
traps.
on. Right.
And so you really got to use your noggin, particularly if you're the dungeon master, because you have to come up with a story that will have all these characters in it to get them to the end, essentially, of the module,
Right.
so they can level and become more experienced.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the coolest way to write a script in the world.
Right,
If
because you
get
got You have active participants making independent decisions to affect a story you're telling.
Yeah, but all organically because the players have their own things.
Right.
They do things that are unexpected. That
Well,
the
that's what I'm
DM
saying. They will come up with something right there, and you have to roll a dice to validate whether or not that would work or not.
Part of the reasons why the game has remained successful all the way since 1979 is when you're in a good Dungeons and Dragons campaign, it's almost like you're in a book and a movie and a radio play all at the same time.
In your mind. And you get into it.
And it's kind of like playing poker because you're with your friends and you're talking shit like, oh, you rolled a 1 and now you're dead. Oh, you rolled a 20. Oh, you kicked his ass. You know, I mean, so you get to have some. It's like a knitting circle.
And then you get the house rules. Right, like you get right.
It is. It's like a knitting circle for
and then
nerds.
you develop your own little critical hit rules. You were like, okay, this is what really happens.
If you roll 3 1s in a row, you die.
Dude, you're fucked. Not only you're fucked, you fucked everybody else.
Oh yeah, you roll 3 20s in my campaign, you killed the dragon. Yeah, somehow you fucking killed him. That's one of the cool things you can do. It's a cool thing I think kids should do, and I do think it helps writing because it never goes the way you want it to, but when you're in a good campaign,
with good players, you're really into it. You know,
it just keeps you sharp. You know, because writing screenplays sucks. For me, it does. It's horribly boring. It's it's not like writing a book. No. I mean, fuck. The camera's the camera has to be here, and then oh my god, where am I going to get 10,000 extras?
So you need
in D&D 15 dragons attack you. No.
Oh, nice. Okay.
You know, so and yet it still somehow can be intense and
in the nice aspect
the game has maintained that. The new version, the 5th edition, I guess they call it 5e, or just 5th edition.
Seriously? Now, who owns that? Who is that?
Wizards of the Coast.
The Magic the Gathering
Magic the Gathering people got so big, they bought
TSR, the original company, right?
TSR, got out of the license, and have done a pretty good job with it. In general, although I think 4, which was really their first attempt to really knock it out of the park, was a total disaster.
Wow.
Nobody bought it. I didn't even bother to. We in fact stopped playing the game because we thought it was kind of a money grab and all that.
But isn't that funny that it's the same game, but yet this set of rules didn't work, but these set of rules for the same game do work.
Well,
that kind of speaks to the complexity of what can be in this game.
Because it is such a complicated game, because there are a gazillion rules, and because it's an open world where you get to walk wherever. What do you do? Well, we go left, or we stab Joe to death. What? What do you mean? No.
Let me find a table for that. Hang on. Well, here's the odds of that happening.
Instant betrayal. Right? Oh no, but I mean, so a lot of it. To me, the really good DMs just make it all up on the spot. Or okay, well, how much does the rule say you can jump? Well, it says I can jump 30. Well, I can only jump 20 because you got 15 pounds of shit on you. Oh, you
know what's interesting, and I'm curious to see how 5th edition handled this. But something that was very important in the 80s when we played this was the alignment of the character. The general set of behaviors.
It's still
really
in the game,
because back in the day it was like, okay, are you good, neutral, or evil, and then variations thereof, right?
Are you chaotic?
Lawful good, chaotic neutral, which is literally insane. Chaotic evil, lawful evil.
About your war.
Thanks, Dave.
I mean
that was but that was really interesting how it would color what you would do.
So people who played the game then, the first edition of Dungeons and Dragons or AD&D or even second edition.
Because there was D&D and then
Advanced
AD&D, right? A few snobs out there.
How you defined your character. Well, I'm Batman. Okay, so what is that? Well, that's chaotic lawful, or whatever. Right. How you have to come.
I want to
be the
Joker, way.
So I'm chaotic evil. I mean, so you kind of try to shoehorn your character into these, and you would take massive beatings if you well, you can't kill that lady orc. She hasn't done anything. She dies.
Yeah, evil's just died.
Then you would always get punished.
Right, you get punished for it.
And so
depending on your DM, but,
and that's not the case now. It's just because it's too constricting, it's too weird, and it's too subjective. Really, I can understand why it does. You can use it now, and it is fun because what Wizards of the Coast did, and it is pretty cool. because I thought 4th edition was a money grab. I think the second, I think a lot of them are money grabs. You have to keep out putting new editions, right, if you own the rights, because eventually you're just only going to sell so many books. Right, and you have to.
Well, there are, now, dude, how do they do it now?
But my understanding is that they tried to make this the ultimate D&D game, and they took something from all the versions previous, all of them.
Interesting.
And from what I've read, I'm only really getting into it now. But I've heard really, really good things by super nerds that make us look like no nerd at all.
The uber elite of nerds.
Right. And
Nerd Valhalla. Nerd Valhalla.
I guess the first module that comes with it is dope as heck.
Wow, it'd be sweet if it was Isle of Dread.
Minds of Poundelver or something. And,
now here's an interesting question.
And they've come out with Keeping the Borderlands, which was the very first module that you could get.
Yeah.
It's like a 100-page mega book now that it's fleshed out the whole.
So is it still?
So it's incredible. Yeah.
Is it because listen now? Back in the day, it used to be like this.
But wait, that's
go.
You can print like the first 300 pages of the rules for free from their website, so it's not a money grab at all.
That's fucking cool.
And the beginning
that's a nice thing.
Costs
to do.
$10.
That's a nice thing to do. No,
that sweet module and the
that's
basic
pretty
rules.
cool, dude. No, that's a nice thing to do.
Dungeons and Dragons did not exist before 1979 on a wide basis. So it so there were Star Wars in 70. Dungeons and Dragons come out. So these two really, yeah, it's a big 1-2 of giant nerdism that begins to overwhelm the whole culture.
Nerd vortex.
Yeah, before
moral panic about people LARPing.
Right. If you burn a copy of the player's handbook, it screams because the demons are
yeah. So the people were actually trying to ban the game like Footloose. Because it's about demons and everything. It has nothing. It's like with Jason and the Argonauts has demons and winged creatures.
Strictly speaking, yeah.
And that shit too. It's just games, right? But they've treated it like these were satanic Bibles. I know, man.
Right. And I remember that vividly. You played Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, so anyway,
the devil.
The new version looks like it is super fun.
It's cool.
You can play it for free virtually, or you can spend a lot of money. The books are like $30 a piece.
I kind of like that though. I would do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let's
to their credit, they just basically have this little set, and that's it.
That's slick, dude.
If you spend $100, you will have a vast amount of shit.
Kids play that, dude.
Kids,
if you never played D&D,
it's been around for 5 years, and there's not a whisper of there being a replacement. It's a worthy set.
It's just fun thing to do with your friends. That's totally your friends to get together.
So we'll wrap it up on this crazy episode.
Best episode ever.
I think it's a fun thing to do, and if you want to be a writer in Hollywood, you kind of almost have to play the game because everyone now still plays it.
Do you have any friends that you haven't played D&D with as an adult, man?
Yeah, some, but I anticipate I will play.
But you met them as adults, right?
I met them as adults.
You knew from the time you were a kid
that I still know
that you didn't play D&D with.
At least once, yeah, no,
me neither.
Yeah, it was kind of a thing that's not as big now, but it's good to me that the game.
Yeah, I like that. It makes me happy.
And if you want to get into D&D, this is how we'll wrap it. I think it's a good thing to get into.
Totally.
Both because you'll have reference to our culture a little bit. You'll say, "Oh, I know what a saving throw is now."
And just making characters.
Fun. When you say hit dice, you're talking about how strong you are.
Oh yeah.
So you'll be. It's like it'll help you speak nerd, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's kind of like a nerd primer, right? So there it is.
It is, but it is really good for story. Being able to think fast and being able particularly
unexpected reactions.
If you write in TV or some of these other genres where you need to kick this content out, and if you haven't played D&D, it's a good mental exercise.
Flexible, right?
And it's fun to do.
All right.
So coming up next from the vault. Coming up next,
rock and roll.
All right, from the vault. So it has to be D&D movies. The first one we both talked about, because I don't know what's going to make it, is Mazes and Monsters.
With Tom Hanks
his first movie.
Age 12 or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know, 18, 19, 20 when he makes Mazes and Monsters. About how how like
Well,
D&D was like satanic.
Right, and it's funny, like the first one is a moral panic film about a mentally
It was like-
unstable college kid
It's
that
like
plays D&D.
It's Reefer Madness for Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh my god, right? Exactly. Hey, 'cause you fucking go.
You play the
insane.
D&D, you're gonna start fiending for it. You're gonna want to pay all the time.
He goes literally batshit. I mean, spoiler alert. But I mean, seriously, he's fucking batshit basket case by the end of the show. You know,
Wano.
don't let your kids play D&D. They get all fucked up. Right?
I think his character might even die in that movie.
Jesus, mother of God.
But
But
it's so it's funny to watch it now. It's like watching Reefer Madness, honest to God.
right.
But it's the first big thing that people saw that with Tom Hanks.
Like, whoa, if we play D&D, we're gonna die.
I would kind of give you a hint of like that is what 1979, 1980 production value was. Well, maybe even younger. Yeah, maybe 70.
Boy, 70. Think about how new that was. That would be like the year of, like, the game's released, and oh my god, it'll kill you. What?
There was a D&D cartoon. You remember that one?
Vividly, that was also on CBS.
Yes, it
that was
was
a
on
CBS
CBS.
Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
Kids, Saturday morning cartoons. Look it up. But yeah, it was fucking sweet. It was like
It was actually
just
pretty good
after
show.
Thunder the Barbarian, so they had like launch arrows.
Yeah, like the wizard.
There was a
elf.
paladin of the show.
It
and all
was
that
a
shit.
fun
Yeah,
show.
It was a fun show.
And then so this whole weird, super duper 70s era super nerd.
Late 70s.
Yeah.
Oh, is it right?
Yeah, like
late
mid-70s.
Mid late 76 plus, right?
And that includes George Lucas, Cameron,
Right?
Spielberg,
Same time.
all those. Yeah.
Same thing with what Boris Vallejo,
Yeah.
same guy who put out the super realistic ones.
That's all the heavy
Fantasy shit.
Heavy fantasy shit.
Yeah.
So that's not all just Star Wars. I think Star Wars is just part of that.
Is a reflection of it, you think?
Yeah.
Sort of,
And Dungeons and Dragons tied into that for a smaller group of people, but still it was an important group because it's people who, hey, look, we still make movies now.
right? All that from a wargaming community.
and
Couple
it's a
guys.
great way to get, like, if you have writer's block, play a little D&D,
D&D,
man. Yeah.
People will surprise you, right?
Just play it as play.
And it's just fun. So good stuff all around.
All right, so anyway,
That's
we're wrapping up February, so I think next weekend or 2 weeks we're going to have
We'll
our
do
third episode of the Zombie Show.
Oh, excellent! That's wonderful.
Called 27,000 Hours is the name of this episode. I think it's the kind of the best of the episode just because it's we spent the most on it. And we were just rolling better, but we've been blessed by. Go check out our little zombie shorts. I know
Go have a
zombies
look, man.
I know the zombie thing is that we call it reanimated.
We can't help what Walking Dead did. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's a whole.
That's
That's the whole thing. But we're gonna debut that in another week or two. We just signed one of our movies, and we are getting ready to start having a whole lot more content on the channel. So please like, subscribe, share, hit the
bell
alert button, and thanks for everything. And love each other. Are they going to replace Affleck right now? We got to call it because it's.
Oh yeah, it's in the can. Yeah,
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
It's not publicly announced.
It kind of was, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, absolutely. Ben Affleck already talked about passing the torch. It's over.
Really?
There will not be another Ben Affleck as Batman. Nope, that's done. That's over. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that weird? But the
Yeah.
timeline that he's in, they're not canceling, so they do have to recast.
They're gonna recast.
Now,
and
wait
they're
a
gonna
minute.
recast, reboot, and replace. That's what they're gonna do.
What if I could offer you this?
Okay.
Christian Bale.
Nope. Sorry.
Oh, really? Oh, I think he could. They could. Yeah. See, Joe agrees with me. If Christian Bale came
kids
back
love
right
him.
now,
Well, okay.
I love him. He was great.
Here's how it could work.
This is a fantastic
because their
actor,
plan.
man.
Listen, their overall plan, because they announced this, their overall plan is to reboot the Batman franchise. So they have to have a younger Batman Year One guy to play Bruce Wayne becomes Batman.
that's not going to work, though, man.
But whether it works or not, I'm telling you what they're doing.
Everybody knows what Batman's origin story. I mean, he's almost as famous as
preaching to
Jesus.
the fucking converted.
So wait a minute. You say this Dracula comes from transfer what now?
He's a vampire.
Wait.
What the hell is a vampire?
Batman.
Don't they call balls and strikes at the ball game?
Your parents were killed by criminals, and now you hunt criminals. It's not that tough.
Specifically,
Be sure to visit evilgeniusentertainment.com for exclusive content, swag, casting call news, and much, much more.